Have you ever worked so hard that your body ached? Your mind was exhausted, but the results never came? Maybe you practiced for hours every day, but never improved. Maybe you followed every piece of advice you found, but nothing changed. Maybe you wondered, am I just not good enough? Is success only for other people? Here's the truth that nobody tells you. Hard work without the right guidance is like trying to unlock a door with the wrong key. You can turn it 1,000 times, but the door will never open. If you've ever felt like you're pushing a boulder uphill alone, this story is for you. Because once there was a young man who trained harder than anyone, but failed every time, until he met the teacher who changed everything. Stay with me until the end. In a quiet village nestled between mountains, there lived a 23-year-old man named Daniel. Daniel had one dream that consumed his every waking hour: to become a skilled martial artist and protect those who couldn't protect themselves. His father had been a humble farmer who died when bandits attacked their village. Daniel was only 12 years old, too weak and untrained to help. That day haunted him every single night. So Daniel made a promise to his father's memory. He would become strong. He would never be helpless again. For 3 years, Daniel trained alone in the forest clearing behind his home. Every morning before sunrise, he practiced strikes against a wooden post until his knuckles bled. He ran up the mountain path carrying stones. He did push-ups until his arms trembled and gave out. People in the village saw his dedication and whispered, "That boy works harder than anyone I've ever seen." But there was another whisper too. "But why does he never improve?" 3 years of training, hundreds of hours of sweat and pain. And Daniel was still weak. When he tried to spar with other students at the village training ground, they defeated him easily. When he attempted the techniques he'd practiced alone, nothing worked. His movements were clumsy. His strikes had no power. His defense was full of holes. Daniel would return home each night, his body bruised and his spirit crushed. He didn't understand. He was working harder than everyone else. He woke up earlier. He trained longer. He never gave up. So why was he failing? His mother would find him sitting in the dark, staring at his scarred hands. "Maybe I'm just not talented," he whispered. "Maybe some people are born to be weak." She would touch his shoulder gently and say, "You have the heart of a warrior, my son. You just haven't found your path yet." But Daniel didn't believe her. After 3 years of effort with no results, he was starting to believe that hard work was a lie people told to make failure feel noble. One autumn morning, the village held its annual martial arts demonstration. Students from all the training schools would showcase their skills. Daniel decided this would be his moment to prove himself. He had trained for this day for months. He knew his forms perfectly. He had practiced 10,000 strikes. This time, he told himself, would be different. But when Daniel stepped onto the platform, everything fell apart. His first form, which he had practiced 1,000 times alone, looked awkward and weak in front of the crowd. His movements were too slow, too stiff. He could hear whispers in the audience. Is he really that bad after 3 years? All that effort for nothing. Hard work doesn't matter if you don't have talent. Then came the sparring demonstration. Daniel faced a student who had trained for only 6 months. Within 30 seconds, Daniel was on the ground, defeated, humiliated in front of everyone he knew. He walked home alone in the rain, his demonstration uniform soaked and mud-stained. His mother wasn't home. He sat in the empty house, and for the first time in 3 years, he cried. Not tears of pain, but tears of hopelessness. "I gave everything," he said to the silence. "I sacrificed sleep. I endured pain. I never quit, and it meant nothing." He looked at the wooden training post outside, scarred from thousands of his strikes. All those hours, all that blood, all that determination, worthless. That night, Daniel made a decision. Tomorrow morning, he would burn the training post. He would accept that some dreams are not meant to come true. He would stop torturing himself with false hope. Hard work, he had learned, is meaningless without talent, and he had none. But before dawn, before Daniel could destroy the training post, he heard a sound. Someone was in his training area. An old man, perhaps 70 years old, stood examining the wooden post. He ran his fingers along the scars and marks from Daniel's thousands of strikes. 3 years of effort, the old man said without turning around. "I can see it in every mark. Dedication, persistence, pain." He finally turned to face Daniel. "But I also see something else. I see that you have been training alone, and that, young man, is why you are still weak." Daniel felt anger rise in his chest. "And who are you to judge me?" The old man smiled gently. "My name is Master Chen. I watched your demonstration yesterday. I saw a young man with the heart of a warrior and the technique of a child. You work harder than students who defeat you easily. Do you know why they win and you lose?" Daniel's anger faded to curiosity. "Because they have talent, and I don't?" "No," Master Chen said firmly. "Because they have teachers, and you don't." Master Chen walked to the training post and struck it once with his palm. The post, which had endured Daniel's thousands of hits, cracked down the middle. Daniel's eyes widened. "You see?" Master Chen said. "You have been hitting this post for 3 years with all your strength, but you have been doing it wrong. Force without technique is just wasted energy." He picked up a small stone from the ground. "Watch carefully." He placed the stone on the ground and stepped on it with his heel, applying pressure slowly and precisely. The stone cracked perfectly in half. Then he picked up another stone and hit it with his fist as hard as he could. His fist bounced off. The stone remained intact. You see the difference? The first stone broke because the force was applied correctly, focused, precise, at the right angle. The second stone didn't break even though I used more force, because the force was wasted. Master Chen looked directly at Daniel. "For 3 years, you have been the second stone. You have given maximum effort with minimum understanding. You wake up early, but you practice wrong techniques. You train for hours, but you repeat mistakes that make you weaker, not stronger. You endure pain, but pain without progress is just suffering. Hard work is not enough. Hard work in the wrong direction makes you worse, not better. You become excellent at doing things incorrectly." Daniel felt something shift inside him. For 3 years, he had blamed himself for not being talented. He had never considered that his methods were wrong. "Can you teach me?" Daniel asked quietly. "The right way?" Master Chen studied him for a long moment. "I can, but you must understand something first. Learning the right way is harder than training the wrong way, because you must first unlearn everything you have taught yourself. You must become a beginner again. Can your ego handle that?" Daniel dropped to his knees. "My ego has been destroyed already. I have nothing left to protect. Please, Teach me." Master Chen nodded. "Then we begin now, and I promise you this. In 6 months of correct training, you will surpass 3 years of incorrect effort, but only if you trust the process, even when it feels backward." The next morning, Master Chen's training began, and immediately, Daniel understood what the master meant. "Stop," Master Chen said after Daniel's first strike. "Everything you just did was wrong." For the first week, Daniel was not allowed to strike anything. He only practiced standing, just standing, breathing, and finding his center. "Master, I've already trained for 3 years. Why am I learning to stand?" "Because," Master Chen replied, "a house built on a weak foundation will always collapse. We must build your foundation first." Week 2, Daniel learned to walk correctly, to shift his weight properly. Week 3, he learned to breathe with his movements. Week 4, he finally threw his first strike, and it was completely different from the 1,000 strikes he had practiced alone. It felt weak, awkward, wrong. "Good," Master Chen said. "Now you are beginning to feel what correct technique feels like. It feels strange because your body remembers the wrong way." Some days Daniel felt like he was getting worse. The old wrong techniques felt more powerful than these new correct ones. He almost quit several times, but Master Chen would say, "Trust the process. The seed looks dead before it sprouts." Month 3. Something clicked. Daniel's new techniques suddenly felt natural. And then he noticed, when he practiced at the village training ground, students who used to defeat him easily now struggled against him. Month 4. Daniel's strikes had real power, not because he was using more force, but because the force was applied correctly. 10% of effort was giving him twice the results. Month 5. Other students began asking Daniel to teach them. The same students who had mocked him 6 months ago now watched him with respect. Month 6. Master Chen arranged a rematch with the student who had defeated Daniel at the demonstration. This time, Daniel moved like water. Every strike was precise. Every defense was efficient. In less than a minute, his opponent surrendered, exhausted from fighting someone who wasted no energy. After the match, the opponent approached Daniel. "How did you improve so much in 6 months? I've been training for 2 years and I can't beat you." Daniel looked at Master Chen, who smiled knowingly. "The difference," Daniel said, "is that I spent 3 years learning what doesn't work, and 6 months learning what does. Hard work only matters when you're working hard on the right things." 2 years later, Daniel opened his own training school. Above the entrance, he carved words that Master Chen had taught him. "Effort without guidance is like rowing without a compass. You may move, but you'll never reach your destination." My friend, Daniel's story is your story. It's my story. It's the story of every person who has worked incredibly hard but felt like they were going nowhere. Here's what Daniel learned, and what you need to understand. Hard work is necessary, but hard work alone is not sufficient. You can spend 10 years practicing piano incorrectly and never play beautifully. Or you can spend 1 year with the right teacher and create music that moves people to tears. You can run every day for months and injure yourself if your form is wrong. Or you can learn correct technique and become stronger with less effort. Remember 3 things. First, if you're working hard but not seeing results, the problem is not your effort. The problem is your method. You need guidance, not more hours. Second, the right teacher is not the one who pushes you harder. The right teacher is the one who corrects what you're doing wrong. Sometimes that means slowing down. Sometimes that means starting over. Sometimes that means doing less, not more. Third, there is no shame in needing help. The greatest masters in history all had teachers. Seeking guidance is not weakness, it's wisdom. So here's what I want you to do. Look at the area of your life where you're working hard, but not improving. Maybe it's your career. Maybe it's your health. Maybe it's a skill you're trying to learn. Maybe it's your relationships. Ask yourself honestly, am I working hard in the wrong direction? Then, and this is the crucial part, find someone who has succeeded where you're struggling. A mentor, a coach, a teacher. Someone who can see what you can't see because you're too close to your own efforts. Your hard work is not wasted. Every hour you've invested has given you something valuable. It has shown you what doesn't work. Now you're ready to learn what does. The right teacher doesn't make you work harder. The right teacher makes your hard work finally matter. If this story touched you, if you've ever felt like Daniel, working hard but going nowhere, share this with someone who needs to hear it. Because sometimes people need permission to ask for help. Sometimes they need to know that seeking guidance is not giving up, it's leveling up. Drop a comment and tell me, what area of your life needs the right teacher right now? Let's learn from each other. I'll be back with another story to help you grow. Until then, remember this: work hard, but work smart, and never be too proud to learn. The right teacher is waiting. Are you ready to find them?